In 2004, I spent nearly 8 weeks in Alaska, and a good bit of the time I was biking, hiking, and paddling. In Ketchikan, I hiked into Tongass National Forest several times. That's a temperate rainforest that gets over 160 inches of rain each year. Towering Sitka spruce and western hemlock and red cedar trees just dwarf you as you hike. I hiked the Ward Lake, Perseverance, and Minerva trails. And because of the large amount of rainfall each year, they've done a lot of carpentry work. A lot of wood has gone into the trails. I also kayaked Misty Fjord National Monument for 5 hours. Because it's a fjord created by the glaciers, it has steep sides for most of its entire length, though we did find a nice flat area to stop for lunch. We also took a little hike until we ran into a flooded trail and had to turn around. Juneau, I again camped for 4 nights in the Tongass National Forest, just like in Ketchikan, this time at the Mendenhall Lake campground, which was right by the rafting launch. So of course I couldn't pass up the opportunity to go rafting. We rafted across Mendenhall Lake alongside the glacier and then down Mendenhall River. It wasn't real high-duty rapids, but the water was cold and we did get wet. Scenery, of course, was just magnificent. This bald eagle didn't even fly away as we went by. I biked 4 times for a total of 75 miles while in Juneau, including the Clearwater Creek Trail and many of the connecting roads and a number of other trails also. As in Ketchikan, Tongass National Forest here outside of Juneau also has wonderful hiking trails. And again, because they do get a lot of rainfall, they had to do a lot of carpentry work for the trails. This trail was especially nice. It took me up high and I got a nice look down at the Mendenhall Glacier. In Skagway, I walked through the Gold Rush Cemetery looking at the various gravestones, and then I hiked beyond it up to Reed Falls. In Anchorage, I took advantage of the Alaska Railway's package offer. They took me 50 miles on the train along Turnagain Arm to Whittier, and then a bus to Spencer Lake, where we launched on a rafting trip. Just after launching, we had to work our way through all of this ice, and then that put us alongside the icebergs that had calved off of the Spencer Glacier. It was exciting to be paddling alongside the icebergs, but we were reminded that 80% of the berg is underwater, and if one of them happened to roll over while we were nearby, it would not be a nice situation to be in. lake led us out into Placer River, which we then rafted down with a few Class 1 rapids and went back to the train. They also had a wonderful lunch for us on the shore before we started rafting. Anchorage has a wonderful trail system for biking. I did 15 miles on the Chester Creek Trail. And then 24 more miles on the Coastal Trail. This includes a mountain biking section in Kincaid Park, and it travels through Earthquake Park, which has a number of signposts and kiosks commemorating the earthquake which ravaged this area in 1964 on Good Friday. You also get fine views of downtown Anchorage from this trail. Finally, I biked 14 miles on the Girdwood Trail, which runs along Turnagain Arm. It has an elevation gain of 275 feet, and it finally passes through the petrified trees killed when saltwater flooded them during the earthquake of 1964. In Denali State Park, which is across the highway from Denali National Park, I joined the Sierra Club group, and we did a 20-mile, 3-day backpack on the Kasugi Ridge Trail. The trail was constant up and down, and we were often above tree line. And we slept on the tundra, which is like a very soft mattress and very comfortable to sleep on. Several boulder fields made it even more challenging. During my 8 weeks in Alaska, I went to Denali National Park 3 times. One of my adventures was rafting on the Nenana River, which goes along Denali's border. Class 4 rapids required that we wear helmets, and the cold water required that we wear these dry suits, even with booties on our feet. Fortunately, I couldn't get photos of the really great Class 4 rapids because we were too busy paddling for our lives as we went through them. I only have shots taken of these lesser rapids. While in Denali National Park with the Sierra Club group, we did a 9-mile hike with an elevation gain of over 2,200 feet as we went up Mount Healy. Some of us continued beyond the Mount Healy overlook, and as we got up higher and higher, we got a nice view of Mount McKinley, 100 miles off in the distance. In Wrangell-St. National Park, I did a 3-hour hike on Root Glacier with the Kennecott Wilderness Guides. We have crampons on our boots, which made ascending and descending easy and safe. And it was a lot of fun walking on the ice. Several crevices we stopped at had rushing water, showing just how much melting is occurring and where the water is going after it melts. In Wrangell-St. Elias, I also did a 12-mile hike up to Kennecott and then up on above it on the upper trail, where I could see Stairway Icefall from way up high. Alaska was truly the greatest adventure of my life, and you can see why I enjoyed it so much.